Ghosts of Flight 401. On December 29, 1972, Eastern Airlines Flight 401 crashed into the Everglades while attempting to land at Miami International Airport, resulting in the loss of 101 lives. However, what followed this devastating accident was a series of unsettling occurrences that would haunt the airline and its crew for years to come. Survivors and witnesses reported strange sightings and experiences involving the spirits of those who perished in the crash, particularly the ghostly presence of the flight's captain and first officer. These spectral encounters have sparked fascination with the paranormal side of aviation history, raising questions about the afterlife and the possibility of spirits lingering in the places they once inhabited. As Flight 401 prepared for its journey to Miami, the atmosphere inside the aircraft was charged with a mix of anticipation and tension. The setting was a chilly December evening, with winter's grip firmly holding the northeastern United States in its icy embrace. Passengers were eager to escape the biting cold and embrace the warmth of Florida, their excitement palpable as they settled into their seats. Many were looking forward to sun-soaked beaches and a break from the dreary winter weather, their minds filled with thoughts of relaxation and adventure. However, the flight was not without its challenges. Initial delays had already set a tone of unease as passengers anxiously glanced at their watches, wondering if they would ever take off. The crew worked diligently to keep spirits high, but the tension was evident as the minutes ticked by. Amidst this backdrop, the head stewardess conducted a thorough head count, ensuring that every passenger was accounted for before departure. Her calm demeanor contrasted sharply with the growing restlessness in the cabin as she moved through the aisles, checking off names and reassuring those who were concerned about the delays. The combination of the winter weather outside and the delays inside created a palpable sense of urgency, as everyone on board was eager to get underway. Little did they know that this flight would soon become infamous, not just for its destination, but for the haunting events that would follow. As the plane finally began its ascent, the tension lingered, setting the stage for a journey that would take a tragic turn, forever altering the lives of those on board. As the flight progressed, an unsettling encounter unfolded that would leave the crew and passengers in disbelief. One of the stewardesses, busy attending to the needs of the passengers, noticed an unfamiliar male figure seated alone in the rear of the cabin. Dressed in a crisp uniform, he appeared calm, yet oddly out of place. Curious and concerned, she approached him, attempting to engage in conversation. "Can I get you anything?" she asked, but the man simply smiled, offering no response. His demeanor was unsettling, and she felt an inexplicable chill as she tried to make sense of his presence. Meanwhile, the captain, who had been monitoring the cabin from the cockpit, glanced back and was struck by a shocking realization. The figure resembled none other than his first officer, who had tragically perished in the Flight 401 crash just a few months prior. The captain's heart raced as he processed the implications of what he was witnessing, and the eerie nature of the encounter deepened as the stewardess returned to the cockpit, visibly shaken. She described the man's appearance, and the captain's face went pale as he connected the dots. The unsettling truth dawned on them both. They were in the presence of a deceased individual, a ghostly remnant of the past. This chilling encounter left an indelible mark on the crew as they grappled with the reality of what had just occurred. The atmosphere in the cabin shifted, filled with an unspoken tension, as passengers remained blissfully unaware of the supernatural presence that had briefly joined them on their journey, forever intertwining their lives with the haunting legacy of Flight 401. On the fateful night of December 29, 1972, Flight 401 met a tragic end as it descended toward Miami International Airport, ultimately crashing into the unforgiving swamps of the Everglades. The aircraft, an Eastern Airlines Lockheed L-1011, was attempting to land when it encountered a series of critical malfunctions. The crew, comprised of experienced pilots Robert Markey and Ray Dickinson, faced a daunting challenge as they navigated the complexities of the landing procedure. As the plane descended, a malfunctioning landing gear indicator light led to a moment of distraction, causing the pilots to lose altitude and control. In the chaos, the aircraft struck the marshy terrain, resulting in a catastrophic crash that would claim the lives of 101 individuals on board. In the immediate aftermath of the crash, the scene was one of devastation. Rescue efforts were launched swiftly, with emergency responders racing to the remote location to search for survivors amidst the wreckage. The dense swamp posed significant challenges, complicating the rescue operations as teams battled through thick vegetation and murky waters. Despite the harrowing circumstances, some survivors were found, clinging to life amid the debris. The efforts of the rescue teams were commendable, but the grim reality of the situation soon set in as the full extent of the tragedy became apparent. The loss of life was staggering, and the emotional toll on the families of the victims was profound. The investigation into the crash of Flight 401 was a thorough and complex process aimed at uncovering the technical issues that led to the tragic accident. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, meticulously examined the aircraft systems, revealing that a malfunctioning landing gear indicator light had caused a critical distraction for the flight crew. This malfunction diverted their attention from the essential task of monitoring altitude, ultimately leading to the plane's descent into the Everglades. The investigation highlighted the importance of cockpit resource management and the need for improved training protocols to prevent similar incidents in the future. The flight crew consisted of seasoned professionals, including Captain Robert Markey and First Officer Ray Dickinson, both of whom had extensive experience in aviation. Their qualifications and training were not in question. However, the investigation revealed that the combination of technical failure and human factors created a perfect storm of circumstances that culminated in disaster. The loss of life was staggering, with 101 individuals perishing in the crash, leaving behind grieving families and friends. Among the 176 passengers and crew members on board, there were a few fortunate survivors who endured harrowing experiences as they navigated the wreckage and the treacherous swamp. Their accounts provided invaluable insights into the moments leading to the crash, shedding light on the chaos and confusion that unfolded. In the wake of the tragic crash of Flight 401, a series of strange occurrences began to unfold, captivating the attention of Eastern Airlines staff and paranormal enthusiasts alike. Reports of ghostly sightings emerged, with numerous employees claiming to have encountered the spirits of those who perished in the disaster. Among the most frequently mentioned apparitions were Captain Bob Loft and Don Repo, the flight engineer, both of whom had tragically lost their lives in the crash. Crew members recounted eerie experiences such as seeing the figures of Loft and Repo in the cockpit or feeling their presence while performing routine duties. These encounters were often accompanied by a chilling sense of familiarity, as if the spirits were watching over the operations of the airline. As the stories of these ghostly sightings spread, a growing concern began to take root among Eastern Airlines employees regarding the salvaged parts from the wreckage of Flight 401. Some believed that using these components in other aircraft could invite the spirits of the deceased into the skies once more. This belief was fueled by reports of strange malfunctions and unexplained incidents occurring in planes that had been fitted with parts salvaged from the ill-fated flight. The unsettling combination of ghostly encounters and the fear of haunted machinery created an atmosphere of unease within the airline. Employees began to question the safety of their aircraft and the potential consequences of their actions, leading to a heightened awareness of the supernatural elements intertwined with the tragic legacy of Flight 401. As the haunting legacy of Flight 401 continued to unfold, further ghostly encounters were reported on Eastern Airlines flights, leaving both passengers and crew members shaken. Many individuals recounted eerie experiences that seemed to defy explanation. Some passengers claimed to have seen shadowy figures moving through the aisles, while others reported feeling an inexplicable chill or sudden sense of unease during their flights. Crew members, too, shared unsettling stories of encounters with the spirits of Captain Bob Loff and Don Repo, often describing moments when they felt an unseen presence guiding them or watching over them as they performed their duties. One particularly chilling incident occurred aboard Flight 903, which was en route from Miami to New York. As the flight progressed, several passengers reported seeing a figure resembling a pilot in the cabin, dressed in a uniform similar to that of Captain Loft. The figure appeared to be checking on the passengers, instilling a sense of calm amidst the turbulence of the flight. However, the sighting quickly turned unsettling when the figure vanished without a trace, leaving passengers and crew alike in a state of disbelief. This incident, along with others, fueled the growing narrative of hauntings associated with Eastern Airlines. The impact of these ghostly sightings on airline operations was profound. Employees began to approach their work with a heightened sense of caution, and some even requested to avoid flights that had been reported to have paranormal activity. The stories of ghostly encounters became part of the airline's culture, leading to discussions about safety protocols and the psychological well-being of crew members. Ultimately, the haunting tales surrounding Eastern Airlines flights served as a reminder of the thin veil between life and death, forever intertwining the airline's history with the supernatural. In response to the unsettling hauntings linked to Flight 401, Eastern Airlines took decisive actions to address the growing concerns among employees and passengers, and one of the most significant steps the airline undertook was the decision to remove all salvage parts from its fleet that had originated from the wreckage of the ill-fated flight. This move was aimed at alleviating fears that these components were somehow harboring the spirits of the deceased, which had contributed to the eerie encounters reported by both crew members and passengers. By eliminating these parts, Eastern Airlines hoped to restore a sense of safety and normalcy within its operations. To further reassure employees and passengers, the company implemented a series of initiatives aimed at fostering confidence in the airline's commitment to safety. Management held meetings to openly discuss the reports of ghostly sightings, encouraging staff to share their experiences and concerns. They emphasized the importance of mental well-being and provided support resources for employees who felt affected by the haunting narratives. Additionally, the airline launched a public relations campaign to communicate its dedication to passenger safety, highlighting the rigorous maintenance and inspection protocols in place. Remarkably, following the removal of the salvaged parts, reports of ghost sightings began to dwindle significantly. Employees noted a marked decrease in eerie encounters, and passengers expressed relief at the absence of unsettling experiences during their flights. This shift not only helped to restore confidence in Eastern Airlines, but also allowed the airline to move forward from the tragic legacy of Flight 401. The actions taken by the company demonstrated a proactive approach to addressing the supernatural concerns, ultimately leading to a more stable and reassuring environment for all involved. My name is Penny Flick with Kreep-ish. I'll be back with more stories that challenge our perceptions, question reality, and keep us peering into the darkness of history. Comment below on your thoughts. What stories intrigue you the most? What mysteries do you want to uncover? Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the truth is often stranger than fiction.